Hey, good evening, guys. It is the evening of June 23rd, and there's an article I'd like to read to you, and I'm going to try to post the link to this after I make it, but this article is from Blacklisted News, and the article name is Termination Notice, McCrystal Sideshow Mask Murderous Reality. Okay, and the media does this quite a bit. They'll throw something out there that catches the masses' attention while they're doing something else. And I'm sure most of you are up on that. But I'll get right into this. It's not a long article, and it's written by Chris Floyd. And some people seem to think that the question of which uniformed goober is in charge of the imperial bloodbath in Afghanistan is a vital, important issue, worthy of endless exegesis. It is not. It is a meaningless sideshow. What does matter, vitally, deeply, urgently, is the imperial bloodbath itself, and the fact that it will go on and on and on, no matter what Barack Obama does or doesn't do about Stanley McCrystal. Okay? The agenda will keep going, if you will. What really is the matter? 10 civilians, including at least 5 women and children, were killed in NATO airstrikes in Khost province. The provincial police chief said Saturday, "We have received 5 bodies of civilians in our provincial public hospital." Khost Provincial Health Director Armadash Ramatsi Mangal told AFP. The dead include 2 female children and 7 and 8 years of age. Okay, so these are children and civilians. And you know, guys, I understand that civilians do get killed in war, but the commentaries, the articles, the videos that I've seen with Iraq and the other one, and actually over in the Gaza Strip, it seems from what I've read and what I've watched, there really is no difference whether it's military or civilians, because bombing hospitals and schools tells me that they're not making a discretion between military and civilian. McCrystal is in trouble for making disparaging remarks about fellow officers and civilian officials, a military tradition that surely goes back to the armies of Hammurabi. Yet he faced no reprimand or remonstrance whatsoever for his admission. Just a few months ago, the brazen war crimes were being carried out under his command. This is a quote from McCrystal, "We have shot an amazing number of people, but to my knowledge, none has ever proven to be a threat," said General Stanley McCrystal, who became a senior American and NATO commander in Afghanistan last year. His comments came during a recent video conference to answer questions from troops in the field about civilian casualties. Okay, now, what would the authorities say if you or I shot an amazing, in quotes, an amazing number of people who have never proven to be a threat? Why, they would call us murderers, even mass murderers. Yet this is precisely what the senior American and NATO commander in Afghanistan has just declared on videotape. Okay, now, he is supposed to tell his officers, not to engage civilians. He can do that. And they're smart enough, our military has intelligence, of who is a threat and who is not a threat. And surely they can distinguish from unarmed 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds, children and women. And then he repeats this, he goes over that again. But such acts are not to be punished because they are accepted part of the process of military domination of foreign lands. He nailed that one. Wanton murder of the innocent. No problem, no scandal. A one-day story. Insubordination toward a few imperial satraps whose lands are steeped in blood. Shock, horror, and wall-to-wall coverage. But again, McCrystal's fate does not matter. Our empire of bases and global military presence has endangered a whole new subspecies of engendered a whole new subspecies of American, a class or caste that derives its income, its tradition, and in many cases its family history from a long record of U.S. military intervention overseas. Okay, it's become a culture and a way of life. They are the knights of the American Imperium, not only military, but also civilians whose social, economic, and political interests are inextricably tied to the growth of the empire. This includes, but is not limited to, the military contractors, the administrators, the Washington policy wonks who come up with endless rationales for war, and really the entire political class in Washington and their vassals among the coastal elites. Okay, so it seems like there's a perpetual desire for continual war. And Eisenhower warned about this, didn't he? About the military, the industrial military complex. Okay? He warned us about it. And it's a continually ongoing, what do you say, an addiction to war and world dominance. That's what it is. And this subject really kind of gets me hot, guys, because I've talked to people overseas and in different countries, and sat in circles and talked about what people think about this land of the free and the home of the brave. And I love this country. I mean, we have the right to think how we want to think, worship how we want to worship, go where we want to go, okay? Say what we want to say, buy what we want to buy. And when I hear people from other countries saying, you guys are bullies, you want to dominate the world, you want to go into other countries and occupy them, disband their military and occupy their countries and try to make them like you guys are. Okay, who do we think we are? I know who we think we are. Indeed, if Mr. McCrystal goes, another bureaucrat of death will take his place until the militarist empire itself is rolled back and broken up. Kind of like Rome. They spread themselves too thin. We will continue to see, month after month, year after year, an amazing number of, in quotes, an amazing number of people who have never proven to be a threat, killed in cold blood. Okay? I've seen video of it, guys. Innocent civilian cameramen, reporters, just blown to pieces. So, and they have intelligence, they know who they are, such as to the little girls who were slaughtered last weekend in Cost. There they are, their bodies torn, their slender limbs twisted and broken, their lifeless eyes staring into, the article says, eternal nothingness. And here, I disagree, because I believe one day their Creator is going to open their eyes, and they're going to see Him face to face, and say, Abba, Father. I can't wait for that. And we're supposed to care about the professional fortunes and political fates of the deprived, power-drunk thugs who run the brutal war machine. Okay? If you haven't noticed, I'm against war. You know, our Constitution says protect our borders. Doesn't mean go occupy other nations, okay, and disband their militaries and kill their civilians. I don't agree with it. Anyway, guys, this might have been too long, but we'll see. It's a good article, and it's true. It is very true. Headed to the Bighorns Friday morning, guys. Hope you have a good weekend. I probably won't make a video for several days, and so we'll probably talk to you when we get back. Take care, and God bless.